All right, let's go ahead and do a general message, guys. I sat here for a little bit this morning and I couldn't stop writing. It was like this movie was playing out in my head. Like I time jumped or something. What do you call that? Time traveled. Obviously I didn't, but it was like I time traveled into, I don't know, a long time ago. I'll say that, like a completely different era. And I was in this corset and this long gown, walking up and down these streets. It was like wrought iron, cobblestones, you know, the street lanterns, but they were fire instead. There were gargoyles on the building. Like I was seeing this in a vision just this morning, okay? And I started to write quite a bit. And you guys know, if you've been watching me a while, I love to write. Love it. Whether it's just writing whatever comes off my head, writing poetry, writing anything. But one of my favorite ways to write is when I'm picking up on somebody, whoever it is. It could be a complete stranger, it could be someone I don't know, it could be anything. Like I sit down to do a video for you guys and I'm like, what are we going to talk about today? And I start writing. That's what I did today. I don't know which one to read first because I did write almost like a letter. It's not really a poem, but it's more of a letter. I feel like it's an internal dialogue coming from someone, but they haven't quite said this yet. I don't know if this has already happened, this is currently happening, or this is something that will happen. It's foreshadowing because we're all on different timelines here. But yeah, I'm getting almost like this movie scene playing out in my head from what seems to be wanting to play out right now in our present day and time, but as if there's a connection to before, something before this lifetime, if that makes any sense. I guess the best way to describe it is to go ahead and get into it. Also, somebody here is going to have some back pain. I don't know who's having back pain, but somebody's going to have back pain, unless of course it's like kidney pain or anyone's had problems with their appendix here. But my freaking back is killing me. It's like up here near, I don't know, it feels like my back, but also quite like my stomach. But I've been having stomach issues, so I don't know if anybody's got like digestive issues here, or back pain, or radiating pain that sometimes goes from like the front to the back to the back to the front to something like that. Because it's actually hitting me in this video. I was kind of fine this morning. I wasn't really having issues this morning, but I'm having issues now, and it's got to be part of the message. So let's start with the letter. Okay, let's start with the letter. Picture, if you can, picture with me which person you might be in this story. If this isn't your story, this might be someone somehow closely connected to you, someone you know, and this could be a story that's going to play out for them, or that is currently right now playing out for them. I'm going to hop back and forth from referring to, like, probably the language I'm using is also more of the time I'm picturing, with the corset and the cobblestone streets and horse and carriage. That's what I'm picturing, but I'm talking more about this is happening right now, or will. So either you're the person who has this internal dialogue, this internal letter on their heart, or you're the person that's being almost like written to. Okay, so here's the letter. We'll go ahead and get into it. 'Tis been a morning of lackadaisical behavior, and I am not the least bit hurried. The things to do can wait. Right now I attend to my thoughts. Among the many are you. There is a list of to-dos in my bank of errands, but you are the one I find myself focused on. I am picturing your face, wondering what you might be doing right now. The image of your eyes burned into my memory. These images have kept me company since the sun arose. What will I accomplish today? Internally, all I can examine is you, your intrepid individuality, your smile, your kindness, your porous empathy shielded by firm self-awareness. I think I am smitten with you. And all I can do is rest in this energy today, deciding what might my next actions be. I am trying not to focus on the dilemmas that will arise, but instead getting you alone in conversation, your full attention on me and my full attention on you. That's my cat, by the way. You hear my cat. I would like to ask you on a date. Would you care to accompany me for food and conversation? It would be my honor to get to know you more first person. For now, my mind has run wildly away from me, wasting the day in twirling thoughts of you. So that's the letter. You see why I said I'm picturing it from like long before, not in the now. But really, what is actual time? What is time? Time is a confusing construct, it is. What is time? Really, we are all in one big moment. The past is the present and the future doesn't exist yet. So anyway, yeah, which one are you? Are you the one who is thinking these things? Is there someone who has come across your path that has occupied your thoughts? Or are you the person on the thoughts? Let's get into it. So, there is someone here who has recently met or will, an individual who is very free thinking, a free spirit, and who isn't afraid to live their life and be unapologetically themselves. Have you met this person recently, or are you this person? This is more of like a youthful, younger individual, or they have a very youthful, younger spirit, okay? Someone who is exciting and free and has a zest for life. Like someone who doesn't see things as like negative all the time. It doesn't mean they can't be serious. It doesn't mean they can't see things as they are. It doesn't mean they're not a realist, but they also aren't giving up. It's kind of like I mentioned the other day in a video where I said I'm not dead yet. Like I'm not gonna stop living and trying to do things until, you know. In fact, I saw the most uplifting video the other day. It was suggested in my algorithm, and it's a woman whom seems to be around my age, 30s, 40s. She might not be, but she seems to be. And she's taken up ballet, and I find that, I just find it endearing. Like, I love that. I love that. She doesn't care what anyone thinks of her. It's not about that. She's always wanted to pursue this dream, and now she finds herself being able to, and she's just doing the damn thing. Like, she's not letting anything stop her. Not society's judgments, not nothing, not her weight. She's just doing it. And she looks lovely doing it. She's having fun. She's living her best life. She actually is. This is something she's always wanted to do. That's what I'm talking about when I say this is someone who has a zest for life. That type thing right there. Doesn't matter the age I am. This is someone who doesn't really go by rules, especially other people's rules. Okay. If this is you, you don't go by other people's rules. You have a zest for life. If this is the person on your mind, and you have found yourself smitten with them, encouraged by them, attracted to this energy they hold, this is this person's energy. Someone who is more optimistic as opposed to pessimistic, someone full of energy and youthful, vibrant, fun, exciting, daring, bright. They have this type of personality. You can just tell looking at them. You know, you ever met someone like that? Or are you that person yourself when you walk into a room and it's just like you light it up? Not because you're better than anyone, but because your perspective is hopeful and courageous. You want to fly. You don't want to lay down and die. There's plenty of time for that. So you have a bright personality, or this person does, confident and open-minded. I love open-minded people. I love that, where it's like I'm willing to hear and not just think that I know everything, but I'm willing to hear and to see other people's perspectives. I don't want to just know one way. although yes, I am interested in what is accepted in society. I'm interested in those perspectives as well. I'm interested in religion. I'm interested in spirituality. I'm interested in conformity. I'm interested in learning about it and why people see things the way they do. I want to see it all. I'm also interested in not believing in any way that anyone does and doing my own thing. But that doesn't mean I can't hear other people out. But will they hear me out? This is probably someone who it takes a special kind of person to even be interested in them, whether as a friend or a potential love or whatever. Because this is someone who isn't always accepted by society because they're different and they dare to challenge the way things are, the status quo, especially depending on where this person grew up or where they lived. Like in the South, this could be someone who isn't always accepted, because they have very unconventional and unorthodox ways of doing things or seeing things. Doesn't mean they always have been that way, but maybe they just kind of developed that over time, realized that they wanted to be more open-minded and see things in that way instead of in a box. But at times you can be really judged for that. So I would say this might be someone who doesn't even have a whole lot of friends. If this is you, you probably don't have a whole lot of friends. You may have a lot of people who, like little sprinkles of them here and there, all around the world or in different areas, who might like you and you get along with them, but they would also be like-minded, meaning open-minded, like you, able to accept those who are also in boxes, but the people in the boxes can accept you. You know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. So we've got someone here who has just come across this type of individual, okay? If this is you, you just came across this type of individual. This type of person is, my alarm's about to go off, is very different than what the one who's coming across them is used to. Those who are usually around this person are very similar with muted differences. Their beliefs and their mannerisms, even their sense of dress, is quite similar. So this is someone who, they're just used to people, not that there's anything wrong with it, but this is someone who's kind of used to everyone kind of believing the same way, and everyone, I mean, yes, there are differences. Everybody's got differences, but even the differences are quite similar. You know what I mean? It's nothing like, whereas whatever they're coming across, I said whatever, but I mean whoever they're coming across or just recently did, or if this is you, whoever you just recently came across or will, is like so different. You, before they even speak, you can tell. You know what I mean? When they, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm still not tired of it. I get tired of my alarm sounds and I change them, and I'm not tired of that one. I just like it. It's very jazzy, you know what I'm saying? Very jazzy. What's up with me lately and like going back in time? I don't know. It's like I'm just going back in time. I mean, I am like all over. Just like spiritually, I'm all over. I like it. I never get bored. What was I saying? I totally lost it. Yeah, okay. So coming across an individual, either you're the one being come across or you are coming across this individual, and it's like, oh my, wow. I mean, you don't even have to say anything, or this person doesn't even have to say anything. You can just tell by the way they are, their aura speaks for itself. And then when they talk, that just seals it in the coffin right there. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know. But why should we have to walk around being worried what people think about us, right? Can you believe what they said? Can you believe their view on things? This may even be someone who might even get labeled as like new age. That isn't new age at all. I'm not new age. I'm not even sort of new age. I don't even like to be put into any type of a box. I hate boxes, actually. Fucking hate boxes. Anything I even labeled myself as, I like to take that off. I like to take it off. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. That's the more time goes on, the more I don't like titles on myself. You know, I was talking about in one of the videos recently, I said, why is it so important for us when we meet someone to know what they do? And there's nothing wrong with that, because, well, when we work hard for something, it's nothing wrong with being happy of our accomplishments. But why is it such an importance? Why do we put more of an importance on that rather than who a person is? It's more about, I'll know if I like you depending on like the status you have, or the money you make, or the title you have. What do you do for a job? And it's like, I don't, you can have people that have certain titles, that have certain positions, and they do certain things, and they're not good people at all. So it's not really about what someone does and how long they went to school for something. And I mean, yes, that's nothing to like turn your nose up at. I mean, depending on how hard someone worked for something, again, that's an accomplishment, and hard work shows a person's dedication. So there's something to be very admired in that, and their love and their zest for that as well. But also, that's not everything. What is this person like behind closed doors, right? So this is someone here who is just so fresh in everything, no matter their age, no matter their upbringing and their programming, and no matter the people that are around them. And I do think this is someone here who will encounter this person, or whatever. Either both might even be like this, where the individuals that this person has been around, or both people, the one encountering and the one that's like this crazy free thinker and free spirited, open-minded, both of these people individually may have been around, grown up around people, lived around individuals that they do care for dearly, family, friends, things like that. They do care for them, but if we're being completely honest with ourselves, they're ready to like experience something new, and perhaps this is why they're coming across one another. I don't know. One being a bit more, it seems, still in the box mentally, is definitely able to go outside of that box, but still on the outside appears as one way, whereas the other one is just kind of like letting it all hang out, really doesn't, don't care. Nothing wrong with it. And that doesn't mean that these individuals don't have morals, and that they don't have certain things that they stand for and stand against. But freedom is the middle name here. That's what we're talking about. Free. Open-mindedness. Anyway, so these individuals probably each have people around them who are very poised, very demure, as my kids would say, very demure, very mindful, and love to have fun, but within a scope of things, within a realm of things. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I said I think everybody came here to this planet to be different, to do our own thing. And some you'll have it where there's a group of people, and this is how they do life. To them, this is being free and all this, and meanwhile they still have their beliefs, and they still have their way of seeing things, and they still have their way of thinking what's right and what's wrong. And yet within it, they're all individuals, but collectively they have an overall understanding of what's right and what's wrong and this and that. But that's what's their understanding of what's right and wrong. It doesn't mean that is what's right and wrong. It's just one way to see it. So basically saying, the person who is writing the letter that I wrote, this individual is kind of between a rock and a hard place, almost like they're trying not to be pessimistic, but they have moments because they want to embrace getting to really know this new arrival, this new person on the scene, this youthful energy that's invigorating. I mean, they really want to embrace that, but then they have the side of them where it's like, oh, but I do have this type structure in my life already over here. And not only what would they think, but really what would they think? That's the dilemma. I feel like there's a person here that wants to kind of throw caution to the wind. They're even entertaining the idea of keeping it separate, like secret. I don't see the problem in that. It depends on like in which way this person's trying to make it go. I'm not saying anyone's being deceptive here as far as like unfaithful, disloyal, romantically. I think these are two single individuals, but it's just like if I were to explore this new arrival in my life and see what's kind of happening there and learn a whole new world over here while also still balancing what I have over here. I don't know if I want them to merge, or what if they did merge? Should they merge? And then what if they did merge? It probably wouldn't be accepted because this side of my life that has known me for so long would probably not accept this side being in my life because they know me as this way. And they would be harsh in their judgments towards this individual, thinking that they are one way but it's only because they're in their own programming. This person's thinking too much. The one writing, they're thinking too much. Nothing wrong with that. But I feel like, when are we just gonna like flow with it? You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's business. What people don't know, they can't ruin. I mean, sometimes people will run with that, and that's how they get away with being deceptive. If they know a person is okay with keeping things under wraps and quiet, they will be duplicitous and try to get away with being deceptive. But if they are only doing it for their own protection, because again, what people don't know, they can't ruin. Even if people aren't trying to ruin anything, it's just that they have their way of seeing things, and perhaps they aren't as open-minded as all the individuals involved here. So it's best to keep them in the dark about things. Yes. So let's read some more. Yeah, those who are usually around this person are very similar. Remember, we talked about that. Almost as if they dare not to be different, or simply they're just not. Like, again, I think this is someone who's around people who, they are different. Obviously, we all have differences, but they are different within a specific box. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have certain lines they draw. And, you know, that's just the way it is. They're kind of in their bubble, I guess. And this person knows it. And they're almost thinking to God or their creator or the universe, they're thinking, why did you have me meet this new person or this new arrival? Like, what is this about? And why do I feel this drawn to them? Because if we go back to the letter, what did I say? I've had a very lackadaisical day. I haven't been able to do anything but think about this individual. In what way someone's thinking of them, I don't know, but it's almost just in an energy of intrigue. I'm intrigued. Let me know more. It's no different than when I passed a billboard the other day and I saw that there's some sort of like show coming to town. It looks like a circus, and I love circuses. I love Cirque du Soleil. I've seen them. I love Cirque du Soleil. I love things like that, things that can like fancy my mind. I love that. I love escape rooms. I love plays. I love musicals. You guys know this. I started off doing musicals and plays when I was just a wee little baby. So I'm very interested in that. I'm intrigued in that. I'm intrigued in Broadway. Love that. And so it's no different than when I see some sort of billboard that has something on it and I'm like, oh my God, and then I can't stop thinking about it. Like, that's what I want to go. I want to be there. I want to be there. I do this all day. I'm around these energies all day. Mundane. I love my life. I love my usual, but I'm also interested in going to the show, right? That's what I'm talking about here. This is someone, but this is dealing with a person. It's like, I'm interested and I'm intrigued. I'm smitten with an individual and I want to get to know them more. I know all of this and these people all day, and I'm not saying I'm escaping them and running from these people being family, friends, things like that. But there's something over here and I'm being called. It's not a temptation. It's a fire that's been lit. It's a passion. It's a desire. And it's not below the border. It's spiritually felt. This isn't lust. This is creativity. This is inevitable. Right. So, this is someone saying, look, I'm just observing. I'm not necessarily, they don't want to hurt anyone. Whoever this is, this person who has encountered this new arrival, they don't want to hurt anyone. This is a beautiful individual with a lovely heart. They just simply are really kind of at a rock and a hard place right now internally, because they're kind of making it harder on themselves. It just got to flow with it. Nobody has to know what they're doing. It's nobody's business, really, until this person decides later on. It's like one foot in front of the other, you know. But currently, it's almost like they don't know what to do. Do I go this way or do I go this way? Do I just stay put and let the new arrival continue moving out of my life? Was this something that was just like a breeze to come in and to go out? What do I do? I don't want to get into it because I've already talked about this in the video like several months ago. I channeled it. It just kind of popped in out of nowhere. But this could even be something like an unexpected encounter, something that pops in out of nowhere. But anyway, I was talking about Pocahontas in the movie. I think it's the first one when the lyrics are, she says, "Should I choose the smoothest course, steady as the beating drum?" Well, let's talk about it, okay? We haven't done one of these videos in a while, a general for everybody. Not any specific zodiac sign, but anyone drawn to click on this video. There's got to be something here for you, or maybe someone you know, or maybe we don't know when it is. Perhaps it becomes more relevant over time. I don't know. Let's see. Pocahontas, steady as the beating drum. Oh my God, that's crazy. Because Google just picked up on me saying, "Oh my God, that's crazy." Because I just went out of town yesterday to get my daughter drums. That's hilarious. Hold on, Pocahontas, steady as the beating drum. I don't think that's the name of the song. Oh, it is. Is it? Lyrics. Oh, guys, my stomach hurts so bad. It's in knots. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Whew. TMI. Is that it? Oh, okay. So there's two songs here. I think because she mentioned steady as the beating drum in this song, it's actually the song called Just Around the River Bend. Okay. Somebody lives near a river. Something to do with the river. Just around the river bend, across the river, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Anyway, so here's a song, Just Around the River Bend, by Judy Kunn. It's a song from Pocahontas. What I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice. Exactly. The water's always changing, always flowing. Somebody is encountering a person who's always changing, always flowing. And it's invigorating. It's exciting. It's intriguing. And now they're smitten, okay? Whether it's happened already or it's happening now, okay? This could be someone who's smitten with you because you are this way, or you're smitten with someone or will be because they are this way. There's nothing wrong with it, of course. If water sits still too long, what does it do? It stagnates. It gets bacteria. It's awful. It needs to flow. So what I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice. It's natural for humans to become bored of things that are mundane when there's no change and everything's the same. What's wrong with that? That's why I said we didn't all come here to this planet to do the same thing. Some of us came to have these lives where we settle in comfortably and it's always the same. We're always around the same person, the same people. We never move. We buy land and we have families and we get married, and some of us didn't come here to do that. Some of us came here to explore. It doesn't mean that one type of people came here to love and the other people didn't come to love at all. All of it is love. Love is us doing what's right for us, not what's acceptable by society. It's what's right for us as long as we're not hurting anybody and our intentions are pure and we're just coming here to figure out why we came here. But not because it's what others tell us is why we came here. It's because we're seeking it out. We're not doing what's told. We're doing what we're called to do. Okay? That's why I love Pocahontas. But people, I guess, can't live like that. And we all must pay a price. To be safe, we lose our chance of ever knowing. See? That's what I'm saying. To be safe, we lose our chance of ever knowing. Some people came to this planet to be safe, to live safe lives. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But is it being safe? Yes. Comfort zones. We settle into these positions and these careers and these jobs and these relationships. I don't see anything wrong with that, because for those people, if they're genuinely happy and they're not doing it from programming and because they're scared if they do challenge the status quo, what society and their family and their friends going to think, but because they're genuinely happy this way, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's their path. But some of us, maybe we even thought that was our path at times, and we realized, it wasn't. And then for a while we went through, the grieving stages until we woke up and we realized, wait, I'm not lonely. I'm not maybe meant to have what other people on this planet have, this other society has. I'm meant to have something different. Yeah, love for me is going to look real different. Relationships, life. Yeah, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. or that I haven't found my person. I am my person. I am the person I've been looking for. And in that, when you realize that, if you fit on that side of things, that's when it arrives. Just like Pocahontas, that's when John Smith arrived, okay? And I'm not talking about like life being like a movie and a fairy tale, but, well, she's not wrong. I mean, the lyrics are dead on. What's around the river bend, just around the river bend? She's like, I don't want to just stay here. I want to see what's around the river bend. I want to travel. I want to explore things. Some of you might actually want to travel. Some of you might meet someone when you're traveling, vice versa. It's just about getting out of our own backyard. This world is huge. Is this our truth? Or is it just what we think our truth is because it's really all that we know? It's what's safe. But to be safe, we lose our chance at ever knowing. There's nothing wrong with seeking. I look once more just around the river bend, beyond the shore where the gulls fly free. I mean, even the birds dare to go there. All the other animals and creatures do it. Why don't we? Don't know what for, what I dream the day might send just around the river bend. It's like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I don't know if I am looking. I'm just kind of living. That's it. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm not seeking anything in particular, because to do that would imply that I don't already have it. Everything that I'm looking for is already inside of me. It just hasn't manifested itself out here yet, but it will happen as it's meant to. That's what this person's saying. When I surrender to the process, this is someone who's encountering a person who just knows how to surrender and flow with the process. And it's like, wow, mind-blowing, because they're not used to people like that. Nor are they really that type of person, but they're on the brink of that. It's almost like there's an individual who's encountering a person who's a little bit ahead of them spiritually, not better, not higher than them, just ahead of them. You see what I'm saying? Like well, this is kind of a weird example, but let's say you have people who go to the DMV and they've been driving the same amount of years. I mean, just doesn't have to be anyone's exact example. It's just an example I'm giving. They've been driving the same exact amount of years. They don't know each other. They're complete strangers. And one person happens to go in there 10 minutes earlier. So they get a number that seems to be ahead of the other person, but they're actually on the same level. It's just one's number is ahead of the other. That's what I'm saying. So here, it's like two people are encountering each other who, one of them is just a bit more ahead of the other spiritually. I don't even want to say the word spiritually. Just, I don't know the word to give it here. I don't want to label it. And whereas the other person is on that same person. That's probably why they're encountering one another. It's energetically aligned. But this person needed the push. It was almost like this individual is being brought to another one to almost like trigger and push this person's buttons out of their comfort zone, because they were already wanting to do that, already have this mind of, they already have an open mind, but they've been really more so around people who are not the best examples to look at when it comes to someone who's wanting to live freely. There's nothing wrong with the people around them, but they needed something to prick them, and that's you. So going more on the song, she says, I feel it beyond those trees or right behind the waterfalls. Can I ignore that sound of distant drumming for a handsome, sturdy husband who builds handsome, sturdy walls and never dreams what might be coming just around the river bend? No clue what's ahead, no clue what's coming, but I know that something's telling me to go with it. This is someone who's like, I don't know why I feel so drawn to this, why I feel so drawn to do this, to go this way, to take this route, to take this course, to do these things, to approach this person, or to allow this person to approach me, but I'm called to do it. I can't stop it. I'm called to do it. I know what I'm getting here, but what's out there? I have chills. I look once more, and then she goes back into it, just around the river bend. Anyway, here she goes. Should I choose the smoothest course, steady as the beating drum? Should I marry Cocoam? Is all my dreaming at an end? Or do you still wait for me, dream giver? Just around the river bend. Basically, what she's saying here, or he, if this is you, he, she, whoever here. This is someone saying, the smoothest course, something that's steady and predictable, is what I've known, where I've known, the people I've known. Choose what's comfortable, what's safe. Should I continue the rest of my life here? Or something that I've always felt pulling me, but I didn't know what until it showed up. Should I take that path? Yeah, so that's what we're talking about here. Let's finish reading. This someone cares for their life, the life that they've known and those that surround it. They care for these people deeply. Their family, their friends, they care for what they've known. They feel almost guilty, a little bit guilty, if they were to take this new path, this new course, this what's around the river bend type thing, this unknown. But they can't stop thinking about it. Go back to the letter that I originally wrote when I said I was like in someone's head this morning, just writing what was in their mind. This internal dialogue of like, but I really want to go with you. I really want to get to know you. I'm interested. I can't help it. So why do the two worlds have to collide? Why do they have to conflict? Now this person has a contrast. They're able to kind of decide more because they're thinking of everything they've known. They're in heavy thought, or you are. If this is you, it could be reversed. Or and then they're thinking about this new arrival on the scene. You know, what is the best thing to do? Why must we choose? The ones who make you have to choose are the ones we should take a second look at. Anyone having us to choose, it's not really healthy, is it? Now, if this is someone having to choose between like a past person or someone new, obviously that has to be a choice made. You can't have both, unless, which of course we have people here who have open relationships, but that's not what I'm talking about here. This is someone who it's like maybe they'll have a situation where either it's something imagined and they feel that they're going to have to choose because their family or their friends won't accept a new person, or if it's actually that their family or friends or whatever won't accept a new person. Why would that happen? The thing is, why does this have to conflict with that and that have to conflict with this? Why can't it just be, I accept it all for what it is and it's your life, you do what you want? Because love is free. You know what I mean? We think love, a lot of times, at least I did for the longest time, is controlling people, is saying, no, but this would be, you know, putting the negativity in someone's mind. Listen, this is your life. You live, you learn, you make the choices. You know, you may end up making a decision about something that other people don't agree with, but it may end up being the best decision you've ever made, or the worst. Who knows? But who's to say? Because it's not their life. You know what I mean? It's not their life. Especially if we're grown adults here, and that's what I'm talking about, consenting grown adults, not minors here, but you know, you never know. This is, it's just, sometimes it's nice to have people who support what we want to do, and not because they even need to know what the outcome is, but because they just simply step out of our way and say, whatever, listen to your heart, whatever you want to do, follow that. There's not many people like that. There's really not. There's not many people that'll do that. And whether or not they mean it in a harsh way or they mean it in a bad way, they might not even realize that it's not really coming from a place to love to do that. They might not realize it. It could be completely innocent. Sometimes you don't when you're in it. You know, you don't realize that if you really love someone, you accept their decisions and you step out of their way and you trust the process that this is their life. We're all here for our own purposes and our own reasons, and how will we ever find that if we base all of our decisions off of what other people will think about it? I went way over. It's okay. I'll finish this. I mean, I'm really into this message. They are drawn in like a moth to a flame. Rapidly their heart beats with intrigue of exploring this new path. But no sooner do they become lifted by the inspiration sweeping their heart, they also remember the now that they're in. The now that perhaps is keeping them from taking a new chance, a new risk. Or is it? For how long will they let this chain hold them back? They are afraid they aren't suited for this brave new adventure. But the fear is proving to be weaker than the desire for a new start. Could even be someone who has complete support from those around them, which you don't see often, so probably isn't very common here. But if that is the case, and this is someone who needs the support of others, if they even plan on telling them about what this new arrival is, an exploration, because they don't have to. But if they do feel like telling them, let's say they are in full support, again, which is rare, this may be someone who their own maybe negative self-image or something, or their own doubt maybe keeping them back. That could be the chains, like, well, I don't know, and you know, just this, like, their own doubt. And it's like, do we go with it? I mean, either way, this isn't someone who's wrong, whether they choose not to explore it or they choose to explore it. It's about what is our heart calling us to do. Either way, at the end of the day, this is our life and our decision, and whichever direction, how will we ever know until we try? Either we stay or we take a new path. Either way, it's our choice. So if this resonated with you, either you're the person who's wanting to take this, some sort of new path, new adventure. I think it could be maybe even towards a new person, a completely new individual who's very different than anyone you've met before or in a long time. Or you're the one whom another person, like you're the new arrival on the scene. And yeah. Or if it's not a person, it could be like a new adventure. Like maybe someone's wanting to take up something new, like a new skill, and maybe people around this individual, even the individual themselves, like think back to the ballerina, right? It's like, well, I'm too old for this, or I'm not the right weight for this, or what will people think, or there's all the young people are doing it now, and I don't know, and what would my family say, and my kids think, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what do you think? So that's what I got. Thank you guys for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.